Hi, I'm Shayna.
And I'm Tracey, and we are the creators of The Pump a Dump Show. We are moms, but we were women first. And in this podcast, we explore what it's like to be a woman who also happens to be a mom.
Before we were moms, we were women. Before we were moms, we were chilling. We were pumping and dumping. We're talking about something. This is the Pump a Dump Podcast.
So, Mom, make sure that you're like 2 inches away from the.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mom.
Can you hear you?
Can you hear everybody? Mom,
Can you hear me?
can you hear everybody?
Loud.
Yes.
Well, just answer into the mic so we can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We need to just do some like
This
level
is
checking.
way too complicated.
Is it?
Yeah.
you just have to. You just have to talk into the mic.
Just talk to the mic.
How do you feel over there, Mom? You good?
Fine.
Do you need want to sit on a?
Oh my gosh, you're like Evie. You have to scoot yourself up to the like edge of the table
She's
until
a
you're
tiny
until
person.
you're
I
your
think
ribs
I'm
are crushing.
shrinking,
Well, yeah, people do shrink eventually, don't they?
but I do think I'm starting to shrink.
Well, okay, guys.
You guys,
So-
everything feel okay in your ears?
I guess.
Yeah.
What was it supposed to feel like?
Like-
just you can hear yourself and Tracey and me
Okay, I think
and
so.
Marsha. Yeah.
I think so.
Does everybody have something?
Can we move our head?
Yes, Mom.
You can, but just try to stay.
I never talked until
We-
like.
we
Oh yes,
need a
I
pill.
have. I used to keep.
We need a pill.
Who's got a
Oh my
pill?
gosh, Mrs. Firm already wants some drugs.
Okay, that's got to stop. That has so got to stop.
Oh, calling you Mrs. Firm.
I can't stop.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh
guys.
my gosh. Fine.
So Tracey and I we're gonna do a little introduction. Okay, so moms, just
Zip it.
zip it for a second. What was that?
I really do think we should have had wine. I think.
Do you guys want some wine?
We can certainly or something harder.
Are you sure you want a little something to sip, Mom? She's
don't-
saying she's not saying no. Do you have some
Okay,
wine?
Yeah, hold
Hold,
on.
please. We have to get wine.
Breeders before us, they were breeders before us.
Call your mom.
All right, welcome back, breeders.
Welcome back, breeders.
Welcome back. We have a very special episode for you today. Just off the heels of Mother's Day and Mother's Day weekend, we are at the table with our own mothers. My
Yeah.
mom, Lynn, and Shayna's mom, Mrs. Firm.
Tracey insists on calling her Mrs. Firm.
Because I've called her that since I was like 12 years old. It's hard for me to change.
It's Marsha Firm
It's MArsha Firm.
over there.
And we thought we would have a chit chat with our moms because we finally wrangled them in one place together.
Right.
And we just wanted to ask, we love to talk about breeders before us. So they were the breeders before us.
They certainly were, and times were different. So now we're talking, we'll be revealing our own ages. We're talking 1975, 4?
Six.
6? Sorry, I just made you older.
Yeah.
And 1977.
Yeah. So 70s and 80s moms.
Yeah,
It's when you were raising your kids.
which is certainly very different than how we are raising our kids today.
Hmm.
And we have a lot of questions for you. So we thought the best way to do that would be to randomly, first of all, it would be to feed you booze.
Yeah.
Second of
they
all-
insisted. Okay. Just so you guys know, they both insisted on having a drink. It is 12:30 on a Monday
They're
morning.
nervous.
They're nervous. My mother is drinking scotch. Mrs. Firm is drinking vodka. Both straight.
My mom's wearing the ugliest sweater on the planet, my leopard print, because she was chilly. She's always cold.
My mom has her glasses on a string around her neck and looks like she might try to run out the door at any moment.
Yeah. We've got it.
We're here. So,
We
should
are
we get
here.
started?
I think we should get started. Let's see what the first question is.
Okay. Here's our first question.
We are drawing it out of a bowl.
Our
They
first-
haven't even said hello yet. You guys want to say hi to the
yeah.
listeners?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Hi.
So Tracey has a sister. So Lynn is the mother of 2 girls that are
Yes,
2 years apart.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
And
yeah.
now they're all grown.
they are.
And how many grandchildren do you have?
3.
Okay.
Yep.
And Marsha,
Yes.
what's your deal?
I have 2 kids. I have you,
Me.
and your brother who's almost 4 years older,
Mm-hmm.
and 3 grandkids.
All right.
Yeah.
Same.
And just a little backstory. So we all grew up in Colorado. So obviously, they raised their kids where we grew up
In Parker,
in Parker,
Colorado.
in the same area.
Mhm.
Okay. So first question. Here we go. When you watch us raise our kids, what do you shake your head at, and what do you think we're doing right?
Start with what you think we're doing wrong, please.
What makes you just go, oh my gosh, guys?
You know
Get
what,
over it.
Shayna, honestly, and I've told you this many times before, I am amazed at what a great mother you are.
Aw.
Aw.
That's very
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, you never even really played with dolls, but you were warm and fuzzy to your children and calm, and you just were not motherly as a child, and you are just outstanding.
Oh.
No.
I wouldn't.
I-
But what
what is she
makes-
doing
Yeah,
wrong?
like what am I doing wrong? Like for example, my house isn't even remotely as organized or clean as your house.
Yeah, but you get them out the door perfectly, all packed up, everything is ready to go.
I am always on time. I don't know if
You
you
are
all
very-
know this about me, but I'm like
She's
my
very punctual. She's
what's it
very
called? An
proud of it.
epitaph? An epitaph?
Epitaph?
My epitaph. Right, that's what's on your tombstone.
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be like she was always on time.
Now, honestly, I have not seen anything that I would say, oh, God,
Come
Shayna,
on.
don't do that.
Or
You
just even like our belief systems or like what we allow our kids to do versus what you did. I mean, nothing?
She'll come up with it when she has a
Okay.
little more vodka.
Okay, yeah. Have another slam.
Okay,
Marsha.
Lynn, it's your
Okay.
turn.
Okay.
Well, I would have to agree with Marsha. Tracy, I think I just amazed at what an incredible mother you are.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh,
you
you're
are.
going to be crying.
I know. I mean, you just are. You're chill. You just let it flow. You're so good with her. I just feel, and it makes me feel like, oh gosh, I was the worst mother in the whole world. I don't
Oh,
remember
really?
doing that. Yeah.
Oh.
no, I just admire you. I really do. But there is one thing.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Because of this day and age, the amount of freedom you give her to run down the street and go to these people's houses and stuff, even with the walkie-talkies, it drives me crazy. Other than that, everything else is perfect.
Because you're nervous that something's going to happen to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, I mean, to let him, because it's a ways, and you just, in this day and age, you just don't know. I mean, we didn't never think about that.
It's
when
because
you
you
were
didn't
going-
have YouTube and 24-hour news. It was still
Well, it
happening.
could be. Yeah.
It was actually
I
happening
do think-
more.
You
than-
think?
yeah, I mean,
I don't think it was
statistics
a
show.
more.
No,
Really?
I mean,
What is
trust me.
statistics, by the way? What do they show?
I can't cite the exact source, but I've done enough research, second guessing myself, trying to give my daughter freedom. And truthfully, like child abductions, mysterious disappearances, all of that is down from the 70s and 80s. Yeah,
Oh,
it's definitely. And I will also say that this is a fact that the majority of child abductions happen from within the family. It happens when there is a dispute between parental figures or some other, but it's mostly familial, and most children that quote unquote disappear know the person who took them.
Hmm.
So that's what gives me confidence to send my kid wandering down.
That's what you're
Denver
reading
streets.
before you go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well, and the
Okay,
other
anyway.
thing is, and Lynn, you'll probably agree with me on this, the schedule that you two keep with the traveling and the podcasts and the preparing for the shows, and you still are fabulous parents. I mean, your first priority is your kids, no matter what you're doing.
Mhm.
Instead of saying just go play in the alley, and while you do your work, you're with them. And
Oh no, I make them go
Incursion.
play in the alley while I do my work for sure.
I
But
was
that's
trying
kind.
to cover that up.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, the schedule you girls keep and what you do for these children is just amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Aw.
That's so
I agree.
nice, you guys.
We
Look, this-
definitely didn't have them on the podcast so that we could learn
I
how
know.
great mothers we were. We
but
thought
that's
you guys were
very
gonna be a lot
nice.
harsher.
Yes. So there's nothing that like when you go back to California with dad and then you think about you guys joke or roll your eyes about.
Iron the kids' clothes once in a while.
Who irons children's clothes?
I not a single piece of clothing that my daughter has ever owned in her 8 years in life has seen an iron by my hand.
I don't even think my kids have seen an iron.
I don't even know where my iron is.
I know. And you know what? So my dad irons like his underwear and his socks. Like he's a
That
crazy
makes
iron
sense.
person. I know.
That's
it's very
Mr.
true.
Firm.
That's Mr. Firm.
Mr. Firm irons his socks for real.
To freshen him up. So he says.
Sure, I get it.
And one time I was like, Dad, I don't even own an iron. And he just like
His
so
head
matter of
exploded.
factly. No, he just goes, and is that something that you're proud of? And I was like, oh, he feels real confident in his but no,
Iron judgment.
iron
Iron
judgment.
shaming.
However, whenever I do need something ironed, and my dad is anywhere near, I can always give it to him. So there's the plus.
How much help did you guys get when your children were babies? How much help did you get, Mom?
Really? Really? None.
No help?
No help. None.
Did you ask for help?
Um,
And by none, do you mean none from your husband? My mom's divorced. Do you mean none from your husband, my dad, or none in
well,
general?
what
or-
kind of help are you talking about? I mean, I came home from the hospital and it's pretty much, drop and run. I don't remember any.
Was your mom around?
No, she passed away even before I was married. So
Okay.
I did have an aunt and who was like my surrogate mother. And I mean, she never had kids, so she would come over occasionally, but literally, I mean, there was no help. You just had a baby and you just deal.
Yeah.
I did call her the first time I gave you a bath because I was scared out of my mind to give you a bath.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, and just to have that moral support, and she did come over. But and certain things like that. But I mean, in terms of cleaning or anything like that, you just jumped in and did everything.
And Dad worked. He had his own
Yeah,
business, so
right,
he wasn't really
right.
like
No.
when I first gave Evie a bath. Johnny and I gave her a bath.
Yeah.
It was a familial. It was like,
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny wouldn't miss, the first
He
diaper
would.
he helped change, like he did it,
Yeah.
but Dad wasn't really like that.
No.
Marsha?
Tough question. My parents were around, but the kind of help they gave was not supportive. Shall
Well-
we say physical help, but not emotional.
Your
Mm.
mother didn't see me for my first 6 months of life.
Well, that's true. She didn't like your name.
Yeah, she didn't like the name.
Oh,
Yeah.
smack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But Mitchell being 4 years older and us being very young, I mean, I was 23, I think, when Mitchell was born.
Okay. Wow. That is
And Dad was in law school.
Mhm.
So he would come home, and if Mitchell had this or that going on, and I can tell the story, what kind of a parent we were. Mitchell had a fever. I waited for Bob to get home from school, and the doctor had said, give him aspirin suppository. Well, I didn't know there was such an actual thing as an aspirin suppository, so I had Robert put 2 baby aspirin up his butt.
Oh no.
As you do. I'm
I
sure
mean-
it worked the same.
I mean, I can't blame you. I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing.
Y'all
So
were a little confused.
yeah, as far as so he helped me.
Yeah.
If you want to call that helping me.
But that was helpful. I mean, for
Yes,
him to have
extremely.
even been involved in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He
And
changed diapers.
He changed diapers. There was a middle of the night when Mitch's diaper was kind of pink and wrong color. So in those days, you can call your doctor in the middle of the night.
Mm.
And Bob's explaining to him on the phone what it looks like. And I said, and the doctor said, well, what had he taken in today? And I said, Hawaiian Punch. He says, good night.
So wait, you fed
He
your
was
baby Hawaiian Punch?
In diapers?
Well, he was peeing it out. It was coming out as Hawaiian Punch color.
No, we get that part. We're confused that you were giving your baby
Hawaiian.
in
Oh, in
diapers
those
Hawaiian
days-
Punch.
No,
Like
in
you're-
those days, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
It
like
was-
red dye number 5 in a bottle?
Exactly. Exactly. They
Amazing.
didn't know. It was keep them hydrated, give them this, that, and the other
Sure.
thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
you
what
know.
we mean about the 70s and 80s
Wow.
versus
Yeah,
now.
But Dad was right there helping me. Give him the
Okay.
Hawaiian Punch, I guess. But as far as parental health, not really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not.
And you
not-
guys
not
didn't, I mean,
encouraging.
I know I never had it. We didn't have a nanny. I mean, we had babysitters. You guys went out from time to time, but no nannies or
Oh,
I never.
we had a housekeeper. Remember?
Oh, we had Magdalena.
Magdalena was her
Oh.
name. This is
Wow.
actually a great story. Tell them what happened with Magdalena.
Oh, when she went to school?
Didn't she come back? Didn't she have a family back home?
Yes.
And then what happened?
She wanted to go to the English as a second language school.
Mhm.
And so we supported that and took her that. And she met a guy there. And all of a sudden, one day, she's in a tizzy. Her husband's on his way across the border, and she's pregnant with the boyfriend's baby.
Magdalena.
Magdalena.
Mhm.
Girl.
Girl. Yeah, that was, she helped
And to
us.
this day, after a big family dinner, what do we say? Where's Magdalena?
God.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's funny.
If we all had Magdalena. I
we did
mean,
not. Yeah, we did. Mom, you never. Did you ever have anyone come and clean the house ever?
Mm-mm.
Not once.
Not once.
Do you do it now? Do you have someone now, or do you?
Oh no,
clean?
I never have. No, it's. I was told because your grandmother, your father's mother, had 4 kids. She had help with ironing. She had help with the house every now and then. But because I only had 2 kids, I was not allowed because apparently I wasn't doing enough work around
Oh,
the house. So
okay.
I had. Yeah.
So it's a quantity issue.
Apparently,
Okay.
it was a quantity issue.
Wow.
Or
You
it
should
could
have
have been
just
a
popped out
financial
another
issue,
couple
but he
kids.
just used that as yeah, exactly. That would have been disastrous. I would have been an alcoholic by now.
Well, and also to
Well,
clarify, the
excuse
reason we had Magdalena is because you were working when we were
Yes.
little, so
Oh,
you had to have
yes.
somebody take care of us.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was running the law office. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I wasn't working.
Right.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Sort of, as we all know what that
In
means.
the
I mean, you were
traditional-
working.
in the-
Yes, I
your
wasn't
ass
getting
off.
a paycheck. Let's
Yes.
put it that way.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
just a little side note, my mom was was not giving us Hawaiian Punch. My mom was like, I mean, you guys make fun of me being the hippie woo woo and wonder why I am. I mean,
You were very, very organic back then. You're like ahead of your time.
she was like a
Yeah.
hippie before hippies were cool. Well, after hippies were cool because it was in like the
Between-
late 70s, 80s.
Between when hippies were cool and hippies were cool again.
Yeah.
Well, about food anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty intense about that.
We never, ever, ever got to have soda except when we were older. And then
Yeah.
we got to split. My sister and I would split one
Hanson's,
Hanson's
yeah.
soda on a Friday night. That was our big.
It was big.
Oh,
And then we
wow.
never got to watch TV ever.
Well, that wasn't
That
me.
was my dad.
That was your dad.
Yeah.
Well, we had an issue with a fussy eater being Shayna.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a surprise that
that
she
I
was a
know.
fussy eater.
For a long, long time, she only ate things that were round.
Oh,
Shut up. You can have more vodka. That's the best information I've ever gotten. You would only eat
Would you
things
like
that
to
are
know?
round. Yes, please.
Okay.
which
SpaghettiOs with meatballs, round.
Okay.
Mhm.
Bagels, bagel bites. Well, McDonald's
Pizza.
obviously is a burger.
Still love
Yes,
pizza.
Pizza.
She loves
still
all
loves
of
the
these
pizza.
things.
I do.
Uh-huh.
She never met a meatball she didn't like.
Tuna worked because it was a round can.
Shut. Are you kidding
No,
me
I
right
am
now?
not
She's
kidding.
making up that I actually chose these things because they were round. What she's not saying is that everything I liked happened to be round.
I don't know.
didn't
You're
have, like, a
neurotic
go-to
enough.
do.
I'd believe that you were just decided you would
I-
only eat round food. I'm going to go with that story in my
I
brain.
think
like it a lot.
honestly, because you're such a visual person,
Oh my
that
god.
that had something to do with that.
Completely agree.
There you go. Thank you
Completely
very
agree,
much. But
Mrs.
yes.
Firm.
Well, just to add to, I want to add to that.
Okay, Mrs.
I don't
T.
think there was anything that you didn't like.
Boom.
Boom.
Still to this day.
Still to that.
Donuts are round.
Yeah.
Love me. I have my Mother's Day donuts. I'm a happy woman.
Impressive.
No, I tell you what I didn't like.
Oh.
I didn't like your stuffed
Oh yeah, you
green
told me
pepper
that.
meal.
I love those
My sister and I
things.
still talk about it. It was a green pepper stuffed with meat and, like,
rice
tomatoes,
and, oh,
and
so
it was
good.
disgusting and I hated it, and you made me sit there and finish the whole thing, and you wonder why I'm so hard on Evie when she eats. It was
It was
disgusting.
delicious.
You don't have to be so mean about
Yeah.
it.
Well, you do when
I
you
was thinking that.
you do when you like sorry.
It's okay.
But it's like I liked everything, so then it's like the one thing I didn't, you're like, eat it, just eat it.
Well,
Hated it.
that's
My
how you
well,
get to
I
eat.
did let Melissa slide on the peas though. When she finally gagged at the table, I said, "Okay, maybe we don't need to push the peas."
Right.
but
She's
other-
gonna puke on the table.
Yeah.
She was a gagger and a puker.
I have
though.
to say though, I feel like you learned, and please forgive me if this is not nice.
Oh, I've been great to you so
Okay.
far.
Sorry. You learned to cook later. Like
Yes.
you got interested in cooking much later.
Yes.
And so when I was growing up, the meals that you did make weren't very good.
I agree.
And so then like when I went to college and you had more time and like you kind of got into making more delicious things. You
Yes.
just didn't know any different.
Well,
No,
you were
I didn't
working
know.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it was
you're- it's
better
not like your
living through
mother taught
chemistry
you.
back then. Like that was at the height of all the like processed food. It's like, why not get it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I agree with you 100%, Shayna. And no, that's not mean.
Okay, cool. We're good
Okay.
then?
Okay. Well, I haven't stormed out yet, so we're
Okay,
good.
good. All right.
You can have more vodka. Next question. What's one thing you wish you would have done differently as a mom? Let you start, Marsha.
One. I have
Okay.
a long
Oh,
list.
you do?
I
Okay.
do.
Oh.
I don't think that we gave you guys enough time.
Mm.
We would take you to the movies because it was easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, I mean, there's just so many things. I watch you and all the things. Well, yesterday, you got a bike for Mother's Day so that the family could go ride bikes. And what did I say? Oh, just like the Firm family did. never did stuff like that.
Right.
As you got older and we were in a better situation, we would go on vacations,
Yeah.
but you were already 10, 12 years old by the time we started doing that. I don't think we gave you quality time.
Well, you did as when I got older. Like
Yeah.
we're super close. So you've
Yes,
obviously
now.
given me something.
But yeah, I truly do not think we gave you. And you were not taught how to iron.
True.
There you go.
It's fine.
Your
It's fine
brother
with her.
irons, but you don't.
Sure.
iron. Well,
What about you, Mom?
That's a tough one. I guess when I see you with, my granddaughter, are we using names?
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Mhm.
Evie, sweet Evie. I don't know. She hugs you. She runs up to you. She just adores you. And I don't remember that, but you're always so independent too. You're your own person. So I just, I didn't play with you. I'm not like a kid person. I love it as you got older. I mean, I just wanted to spend time. I still do with both of you guys, but and so when I'm with her and she wants to play, it's like really difficult for me to play with her because I'm just not geared that way. So I suppose if there was a lack of, what I'm thinking about of what I should have maybe done, but then
We're
I
just
don't know.
not a very touchy-feely family.
We aren't.
in
No,
general.
and she is. She's just so huggy. And,
Well, that's because I can't stop touching her,
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
But you're right. We weren't.
you know what? I don't like playing with her either. I don't like kid play. Does any mom?
I think there are moms who are super good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good at activities with a beginning, middle, and end. I'll go hiking all day long. I'll go for a
Right.
bike ride.
Right.
I'll do those kinds of things, but just sitting down and
But you read to her. You didn't like me reading to you.
I hate being read to.
Yeah. So, it's just those kind of cuddle times that I don't remember having.
Yeah, I don't remember having those either.
Yeah.
I mean, I never slept in your bed.
No. Well,
I did when I was older.
yeah.
In college, I feel like I was always crawling in bed
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
But,
you. Yeah,
but there's also reasons for that too.
sure.
You know.
Different times. I mean, were you guys snuggly?
Oh, we
No.
were. What, are you joking?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I feel like
Was I there?
I feel like we always laid in your bed and watched TV.
Of course, we watched
But
TV.
but both parents, I kiss both my parents on the mouth. We are
I do too.
super
Yeah.
I did that.
affectionate. I feel like we've always been a naked family. No one's ever embarrassed to be in their underwear.
Yeah.
Like we're super open, affectionate. I always felt that way, even when I was in college. Even now, to this
Yeah.
day, I feel like we're very snugly. And my kids are the same. If they could crawl inside our skin, they would.
Oh, your kids.
Yeah.
God.
But
And dad was, Johnny's naked around. We're a naked family for sure. But you always were with me and
Well,
Melissa.
yeah.
You were real cool about that for given your upbringing, and I know how
Right.
hard that is for you.
It was. Yes, it was.
But
And
you were
I
always
wanted.
naked in front of us.
I did not want to put that on you, which I had. And I will also say that we weren't touchy-feely because of, how you're raised.
Yeah.
And so what you're doing with Evie and how she is, that will carry on. But I was never told by either of my parents that they love me, ever. And it had such an effect on me. And then having lost my mother so early, that when you were a baby, I practiced out loud telling you I loved you so that I could do it when you got older.
That's
And I know I
Wow.
still don't do it enough, but I knew how important that was, so anyway, so those are just, it was a different time. Different
Yeah.
people were just different.
that's
Well,
amazing.
it's interesting because of the way we were raised, and then with the way we were raising you, and now the way you're raising your kids. My parents, God knows, were not touchy-feely
Mhm.
or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely with each generation, right? We find it's for example, my brother and I didn't grow up being very close. And so with my kids, I'm like, you will love each other. You are best
Yes,
friends
you do.
forever. You
Yes.
are the only person that you have.
Yeah.
You will only
This is
have
the
each
only
other.
person you can trust on the
Yeah,
planet.
I mean, I'm so crazy insistent, and thankfully, and I don't know how this happens, but thankfully they actually are very, very close. Again, they're closer in age, but so you take a piece of whatever you came from and you kind of shift it into your desires in new world.
And you were really good about that with me and Melissa. You were so good about forcing me to like take her around, and you made us love each other. And I've always appreciated that, because I don't think that's sibling. It's not instinctive. I think that's something learned in your upbringing, that you're being told you will love each other and you will stand by each other. And it worked.
Good.
She got drunk a lot earlier in life than I did. But
Did you know that, Lynn?
Oh no, there's certain things that keep coming out. So that's interesting.
this is what's funny about my parents, right? They're like, here's this 17-year-old girl. They say, take your 15-year-old sister to the high school party and then wonder what was going to happen there. Like, we were just going to sit around and like eat chocolate chip cookies and drink some milk. So she got introduced to tequila at a very early age, but I'm grateful for it, because she was a terrible drunk, and I feel like I taught her how to handle herself.
Wow.
Oh, good to know.
As you are when you're 15. Anyway.
Wow,
Well,
I
thank
can't
you
wait
for
for her
that.
to listen to this episode.
I think she knows. If you're listening, Mel, I'll just remind you of the NXS concert. But okay. Anyway, all right, next question. What do you think of the Pumpin' Up show?
I
Love it.
couldn't be prouder.
I know.
Aw.
Either.
Aw.
Yeah.
And we've been seeing it since it was in the bar.
Yep.
And it's truly a child growing up. And every time I see it, it's stronger and beautiful.
Yeah. I agree.
Let me ask you a question, Mom. So before the Pum and Dum show, when I used to do music comedy, like, I'm to this day pretty embarrassed about some of the things that I used to sing about that were highly inappropriate. And especially in this day and age, there's kind of been an evolution in what actually is funny and what is not. So I'm certainly guilty of writing things that were completely inappropriate, especially, maybe not at the time as inappropriate. But what did you think when you used to come see me in New York and in the back of a bar singing about my vagina? Were you like, holy shit, she'll grow out of this, I hope? Or
I was probably a little bit more embarrassed than your father was.
he was not embarrassed?
Oh, gosh, no.
He wasn't?
No.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, no, not at all. No, I think it was good.
Oh my gosh, parents are the best.
We flew all the way across the country a lot of times to see your shows and support them,
know.
and I don't think I ever walked away saying, "Oh my God, that
What
was
is she doing?"
awful."
Right.
Yeah. No, it was always.
Okay.
And Shayna, seriously, and I told you this yesterday, it gets better and better
Mhm.
and better.
Oh, thanks.
Would you guys have gone to it when you were moms? Or would you have been like, we're not allowed to talk about that kind of stuff?
Oh gosh, I kind of wish it was out in the open. I mean, we didn't talk about, I don't know, maybe it was my groups that I hung around with, whatever, but you just hit everything. You didn't,
You
Talk
didn't
about
talk
the
about
struggle.
eating your placenta?
no.
No. Oh,
Wait,
okay.
you were a
We didn't.
hippie though. Did you eat placenta back
Ah,
then?
no, I wasn't
No?
that hippie.
Oh.
She talks about it. I had certain ways, but there were other things that I was not.
No, she was a very conservative
Yeah,
hippie.
and to look at me, you would never think that I was a hippie at all.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But you said you hid a lot of things from each other, like your friends.
Well, I don't even know if it was a conscious hiding. It's just that you just didn't talk about those personal things.
Like how hard it was.
how hard it was or anything, it took me probably till I was 45 to say the word vagina, and the P word, I still can't get out of my mouth. So,
Penis.
No, pussy.
no. Oh gosh.
Have some more scotch, Mom.
I think this is the time. I think you might
Say it,
want to
Mom.
say it.
Say
No,
penis.
not gonna say it.
You can't say
Wait.
penis?
No.
Penis?
Yeah, it's
Mom.
No,
but if you had
come
a
on.
boy, you have
Huh?
you have a
I
grandson.
have to
But
say
I
penis
didn't-
all the time.
I know you
with
do,
Ken.
but I didn't have it. I mean, honestly, the things that you sing about, it's like an eye opener to me in a lot of ways because
Sure.
yeah, the things that I can understand.
I'm trying to think. We weren't an anatomically correct
No.
family either.
No,
Oh yeah, what were your words? My mom's word for vagina was poopy, which I think is
Oh,
completely
gosh.
I don't
strange.
think we ever.
It was never
referred
referred to.
We didn't even refer to it, so that's what I'm
Really?
saying. Yeah,
The worst was
No.
that we weren't even allowed to say pee or butt in my
Right.
family.
Really?
yeah.
Yeah. But I think that this is so much more egregious. She used to say, "Do you need to go tinkle?" And I am not okay with it at all. This is why I hate you using tinkle razors. I think it's
You don't
so
like
much
the
more.
word.
I think it's way more offensive than just saying pee on every level.
We didn't say. I guess we didn't say vagina. I think penis was a given. Poopy was the word for vagina. Don't you remember that?
Oh,
I
Because you
know
had
it.
poopy soap. We had this soap
Oh yeah.
that it was like, and then you use the poopy soap that
For
you,
your vagina?
Yeah, it doesn't make
Wow,
a lot
that's
of sense.
weird.
And I love that you don't remember this because it's totally true.
Well, are we starting the list of things I don't remember?
No,
Because it's a long one.
interesting.
yeah. Seriously.
Oh my
Yeah, I mean,
gosh.
seriously, especially as I was older and like all my like period problems and everything, we just never referred to my parts
No.
ever.
Did you teach her how to tampon?
Oh,
Well, I probably tried.
I just used
to tell
tampon
you.
as a verb, by the way.
how
I just-
to tampon?
How to
I'm
tampon.
I
good.
noticed
Well,
that.
I must have.
You must
because
have.
I must have said, this is how you do it. I don't think I went in with you.
I have no idea.
She
Did
gave
Sherry
you the
Wil-
paper from
Sherry
the box.
Wilkerson probably showed me, or a friend or something,
Oh.
huh? But she never taught me about. You didn't teach me anything about sex. Nothing. Did you teach Shayna about sex?
She taught me.
Still to this day.
Uh,
Mm.
yeah.
Wow, I just made you speechless.
It's
Really?
rare.
Look at
It's
that. She's
rare.
speechless.
The tampon thing. So this is something in our family that we need to talk about, which is interesting. So there's a tradition in our family, and I'm not sure if it's like a Jewish thing, a Russian thing. It is a Jewish thing. So when you get your period, your mom slaps you across the face.
Okay.
You should see her face right now. She's like, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
totally fine.
And
I
that
know.
is for what? Why?
I don't know. It's just this
I
thing.
don't
Her
know.
mom did it to
Just-
her, and her
It's
mom
to-
did it to her.
It's to remind you how depraved you are. And how we are the lesser species and we should always punish ourselves for bleeding for humanity. That's why.
I guess.
boy, where'd you pull that out of?
Bitterness.
Well, so there's two schools of thought on that, right? Like it's like, do you break a tradition?
I cannot imagine you slapping G across the face.
I
Oh,
can't
it's just
either.
a little.
Oh,
This
it was
is-
not a little. I got smacked, but it's not like it was the
Wow.
only smack. I mean, you know what I mean? Tough
You
love.
smacked me once, you said.
I did.
Oh, for what? What'd she do?
Oh, we had to be someplace and she was flat out.
How old was
mean,
I?
You were either, I want to say you were high school,
Oh.
maybe upper junior high. I don't, but I
Teens.
mean, enough that we were eye to eye to each other. And it was around Christmas time and she didn't want to go to a family gathering. And and it was snowing and I was worried and we lived so far away and we had to travel and her dad was meeting us there and whatnot. And she got real snooty and said she wasn't going. And I said, "You're going with us. You're not staying home. I don't want to go there. I don't like those people, blah, 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 however you do." And I just hauled off and slapped her in the face and said, "You're going." And she did.
Okay.
I feel horrible, but I mean, I didn't know how to break
Did you feel terrible or did you feel better?
Oh, no, I did. I felt horrible that I had to do that. But
Did
I
you
mean,
apologize or did you stick to it?
I'm sure I apologized.
I don't
mean,
even remember if it makes you feel any better.
Huh?
I don't remember being
You don't
slapped.
remember?
No.
Okay. Well, so it affected me, obviously. I would
Aw.
not have wanted to do that, but I didn't know what else to do. You had to go, and I was so mad and angry that I
Yeah,
just thought,
it just came out.
you gotta go. Yeah.
Interesting.
So anyway,
Huh.
Hmm.
We had
fun
the
times.
my dad was like a throw things in your direction person.
Mm.
So so it wasn't actual, like there wasn't a lot of actual physical contact. It was just like, this trash can that's nearby will be thrown near you. It was that
Well,
kind of a thing.
we want to talk about punishments because my mom had the stick.
When you were growing up?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
It was
Chris
a-
had to pick his
it
own
was a
stick
sh-
out.
Oh, it was a
It was a
Chinese
long
shoehorn.
It came actually from Red China back during the war, brought to my mom, and
What?
it's this long. I still have it, thin shoehorn.
And it would hang in the
And
pantry.
and
It would
then-
hang in the, get closer to the mic, Mom.
Oh,
And it
I'm
would
sorry.
hang in the pantry. And if we were being bad, she goes, "I'm going to go get the stick."
and I'd slap it
And
against
she'd
my hand.
slap it against her hand. And she'd walk down. And you know how it's like when you're a kid and you're about to get beat, everything goes into slow motion. So my mother turned larger than life, like this
But
giant
you never
woman.
used it.
Oh,
Well, maybe not very often.
I
got
do
it?
remember getting hit with the
I
stick.
don't remember ever hitting you, but
I'm going to get the stick.
But here's the thing, that insinuates, is that the right word? That implies that you had control enough to say, here's the stick and here's your punishment based on my upbringing, right? Which is very different than a lot of families that are like, just the anger comes and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you're hitting or you're throwing, right?
Sure.
So that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
difference.
and it only came out when, I mean, they had pushed the button to the point where, something had to stop. But
Right.
yeah. But it's an
Fascinating.
extension, of yourself. It's not you. And it was enough. And if I did, I only did maybe one slap against your at some point, because it was enough, maybe both of you,
To scare you.
to scare you. And then from that point on, I had to just bring it out. It was just, then they told the,
You
told the
still
line.
have the stick?
I think I still have it someplace. Yeah. You want it?
You want it.
No, I just feel like I should see it and like
Okay.
confront my childhood.
Yeah,
and,
it's like,
like repress
take it to
feelings.
therapy with
Probably
you.
worth a lot of money, really, because it came
I
from
just start shaking and kneel to the ground and cry.
Yeah.
We should have done this a long time ago.
I
We
mean-
wouldn't be spending the money on therapy now.
I know. Just talk about the stick.
Are you in therapy because of us? We're not in therapy because of you. I don't think so. We
We're
just
kind
talk to
of
each
in
that's
other.
there.
good, because I always thought you would be.
You always did threaten
I
to me,
always said you're going to be in therapy when you're 40. Because
Yeah.
of me.
which I thought was an interesting guilt
See?
guilt play. Make,
my God.
Make your daughter mad and then tell her, make her feel bad that she's going to be in therapy because of what you did. It's like a nice little twist.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
Oh, well.
that was a
next
question about the
question.
Pump It Up show, but
Yeah,
moving on.
it really
Okay.
went into
Well, we do
how
love
you
the
beat your
Pump It Up
children.
Next song, Shayna.
We maybe have to cut this part out.
No, it's great. I
You're
just
under
think,
arrest.
I think you should write a song called "The Stick." Is all
The
I'm
Stick.
saying. All right. Were you ever jealous of other moms, and why?
Marsha.
Oh, I need to think about that for a minute.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that leads us to another one of the other questions in there, which is, did you have a band of mothers?
Yeah.
Well, we had where we lived, there was, we lived, on acreage. So they were
We were, like, in the
running
country.
across the street, but we banded together. And it's funny because it was a wine group. It was also a gourmet group. And to get together, we, like on Friday night, we'd have different houses would gather and have wine. And we didn't talk about, what did we talk about?
Well, that's
Because
what I'm always.
I don't know
'cause
what we ever talked
You
about.
spent so much time with these
We
people, but
did.
were you close with the
Well,
women?
no, I don't think so.
You had your best
Fascinating.
friend. I mean, you had a couple
Well,
of best friends,
yeah,
and
of course.
were they your band of mothers? Were they like even your best friend during those times? Did you guys call each other? Like Shay and I call each other crying, exhausted.
No,
Questioning ourselves. Did you have that?
I don't think so.
Who did you talk to?
I don't think I did. I mean, I think I pretty much bottled everything up.
Hence the scotch at 12 p.m.
Well, and then
Just
that
kidding.
was, I couldn't even do that.
You didn't drink that much.
Well, I would have, but it wasn't allowed. So, what are you gonna do?
Interesting. Yeah.
Did you have a band of mothers, Marsha?
I had Rich.
Our friend,
Oh.
so my parents have another couple of friends who they went to high school with. They met in high school. And so all four of them used to hang out a lot.
Chosen family.
Yeah.
And Randy, obviously.
Yes.
When we were talking about, I can't remember what we were talking about. Anyway, I thought about Randy sharing, because she had Jennifer before Mitchell was born.
Right.
And, she told me every single thing about labor and delivery, except she forgot about when they slapped the stuff with the antiseptic on. And I thought something was terribly wrong because she left that out.
What do you mean?
When we were talking about who'd shared with you, who taught you what was
Mhm,
going to happen.
Mhm.
No, I
So-
mean, what antiseptic are you talking about?
Yeah,
When I was
why
giving
were they
birth.
slapping it?
So we had
What?
just putting it on, putting it on. She had left that out, so I thought that was a problem.
Oh, before the baby came out, they were
Yes.
putting something on your.
Yes,
On your
Yes.
poopy?
and on poopy. They put it on your poopy.
Got to prep that poopy for the baby to come out.
Yeah, so she left that out. But I had Randy. She had Jennifer first, and then Rich took care of all of us.
Yeah.
And as far as other friends or a band of mothers, our friends were so diverse. We had all the law firm friends.
Yeah.
We had Jean and her friends who were having kids much younger
Right.
than we were.
Younger than 23?
Oh, no, she meant.
No,
the kids were
much
younger.
younger.
Oh, I see what
Yeah.
you're saying.
The
Yeah.
kids were much younger. Yeah, so we had a very diverse group.
Groups of friends.
Yeah,
But
groups
not
without,
like.
and we have friends without kids.
Right.
Mhm.
So
But Randy was kind of your go to.
always, to this day, really,
Yeah.
Mm.
Because her kids were just slightly older than your kids.
you were all 14 months apart.
Well, and then
Oh.
you
Except for
guys
you.
used to just kind of put us all together and then go hang out, if we can be frank.
Is that what we would?
That is what you would do. Guess who
No.
was the youngest of those 4 kids?
I know.
Guess who suffered the most? Me.
At
Yeah.
one time we came home and they had you tied up.
Not a joke.
Not a joke.
Wow.
Right by the fireplace, and they were tipping me over to see how close they could get my head to the brick without it cracking.
Without your head cracking or the brick?
Oh no, my head hitting the brick. Good one.
Yeah.
Because my parents would have been really pissed if the brick was cracked. That there was also I would really want to play house, and they'd be like, fine, we'll play house if you'll play Monopoly, because they all like to play Monopoly, but I hated Monopoly. I was the littlest one.
Yeah.
And so they would play house, but then they would hijack my car or whatever I was doing and like take me hostage, and like that was house. Like it was just like
It
super
still just
mean.
ended up with you being tied up at the end.
Yes.
Pretty much.
That's really funny.
Yeah. I was, but
Yeah.
you guys, it was like free range parenting back then. You just kind of let us go.
But Mom, you were in like Bible studies and stuff. What did y'all talk about if you didn't talk about like raising your children? You didn't talk about that stuff? Isn't that what
Talked about the
studies
Bible.
for?
I was just going to say, it's the Bible.
Well, isn't that part of it? Like, isn't that if you're in the
it
thick of
should have
it?
been. I think there was a lot of it just didn't get deep enough. You
Mm.
know, there was a lot. Women were struggling. Everyone was struggling, but you didn't ever, admit what the struggling was. So it was more introspection. What am I doing wrong?
Mm.
How can I'm unhappy, or all those kinds of things. But you never got to the nitty gritty, and which is unfortunate, because I ran into somebody several years ago that had been in the neighborhood, and with the circumstance and the divorce and everything, and I mean, there were many, 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 many years that was bad,
Right.
and whether I didn't admit it, well, a lot of it was I just didn't admit it, that I always thought it was going to get better, but I never admitted it to anybody else. And then my closest friends, when it started to just crumble, yes, I did finally. And then I talked about it. But this one person said, we never knew.
Mm.
Why didn't you share it with us?
fascinating.
And I think it was a trust. I don't think I trusted anyone with that level of honesty.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But again, it was different. Like, you used to say like, you don't air your dirty laundry, and I think it
Yes.
was the way that you
Yes.
grew up. Now it's like,
yes,
hang my
default.
laundry out in front of the
Yeah,
house. I
yeah.
mean, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey,
I mean,
people.
everyone knows everything about everyone. You just puke it out on a blog or whatever. But
Well,
Right.
that's true too.
you know,
But
So
there is
different.
some. I think it's more healthy. I think you can go to an extreme, but yeah, I mean, and I really grew up in a very strict environment of family and whatnot, and I remember all the the tapes would run through my head from my grandmother and also my aunt. Pretty is as pretty does. You're better seen than not heard. All of
Oh,
these things,
interesting.
and it's just like, okay, you're perfect. You have to be perfect, and you don't ever tell anybody that it's otherwise. So that's kind of what I came from.
Interesting. You used to make us dress up to go to the Cherry Creek Mall. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Because
It's
it was
just
like a
getting
nicer
to-
place to go to, or on an airplane. You used to
Yeah.
dress up
Oh,
to go on an
yeah.
airplane.
Right.
yeah.
You-
Or go to the
Tracy and I
theater.
do not dress up on airplanes
I
anymore.
wore my Easter dress, the beautiful, beautiful dress, the first time I went to Disneyland.
I
Yes.
love that. Though.
What
That's amazing.
you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we just thought of it as a respect. Going to a nice restaurant, you dress up.
I don't
Going
have
to
a
the
problem
theater,
with that.
You
Yeah.
dress up.
I don't either, but it's definitely different
Well,
now.
it's
is
Yeah.
my point.
categorically different.
Sure.
I mean, people barely even put on clothes to go on an airplane anymore.
I
but
saw a lady not wearing pants at the airport a
you
couple
sure
weeks
did.
ago.
You sure did.
Oh,
She
you
was
told
wearing
me that.
tights, not leggings, and was like bent over getting something out of her suitcase. And Georgia was with me, and we were like, like the lady's not wearing any pants.
Nasty.
Oh gosh. Okay. This is fresh off the heels of a recent podcast episode. How was breastfeeding for both of you?
Short.
Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
Short. Yeah.
No, not mom, not the size of your boobs. How was breastfeeding?
Excuse me. Excuse me. They turned out to be quite
They
fine.
did. She got bigger boobs after breastfeeding.
Was
I
that
kept
Kate?
telling you that would happen. I'm sorry.
It did not happen to
I'm
me.
sorry.
Mom got bigger boobs too. You got bigger boobs after I was born too, didn't you?
Oh, I think it comes. I mean, it runs in the family, but
Ugh.
it comes with age too.
Yeah.
But yeah, mine was short, like yours. Couldn't do
Yeah.
it.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
No,
Devastating. absolutely devastating. Just like you said at the pump and dump,
Yeah.
the other night, it was never thought that wouldn't happen. Never thought that this. Yeah, I just thought it's what you did, and when you can't do it, and it's just devastating.
And you had what I had, right? You had infections, and then
and I don't even think much milk at all for as big as my
Really?
boobs are. They weren't. I don't think there was anything in there.
Yeah.
so that was with me. That was attempt number 1. Did you even try with
I
Melissa?
tried. I got that whatever that yellow stuff I tried with Melissa. To get that first stuff that comes.
Colostrum.
Colostrum.
Yeah, I did that for her, but then I could tell that it was going to be the same, and I just figured, okay, this is it.
So we were basically formula. Yeah,
I'm
bottled it.
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, Mom,
I
it's
know.
okay.
No, I was full all the time, leaking all the time, but it just never seemed to be enough. And in those days too, you didn't have the support groups that you have now at all. Mitchell, maybe 3 months, you maybe 3 months, and then we went to bottles. And
You went to Hawaiian Punch.
I went to Hawaiian Punch. It shakes up in a bottle really easy.
Sure.
Put
Such
a little
delightful
ice in
color.
there. Yeah, but I had huge amounts of milk. It just never seemed to be enough.
Like
Really?
they were just always hungry, or
They were they were never happy. They were always hungry. And again, I mean, I would leak through 2 pads in each side and my clothes.
Huh.
oh wow,
Yeah.
And was there not pumps back then? You couldn't have pumped that out and stored it. Was that
No
a thing?
support group.
So you didn't know that if there
No.
was or if there wasn't.
No. And maybe it just wasn't rich enough or thick enough or, satisfying enough.
Maybe it tasted
Interesting.
like vodka.
In those days, we didn't know you weren't supposed to have vodka
I
while you
get
were
it.
doing that.
All right, I'm excited for this question.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Describe us. You'll have to do it for your individual daughters, okay? In 3 words. Describe us in 3 words: as babies, as children, as teenagers, and adults. 3 words.
It's a lot of work. Sorry.
3 words to describe me as a baby, Mom.
Oh, light.
Do you remember me being baby? Oh, that's
Oh.
cute. Light of my
Aw.
life. That's 4 words. That's sweet.
In one word. I'm sorry.
I'm just joking.
Joy. I just
Aw.
amazing. Yeah.
Aw. Okay.
Was
What
it-
do I?
Well, it's like you. It took me a long time to have you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, you were for your time because you had me when you were in your 30s.
27. No,
27.
27. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it took 5 years, like
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And testing and all of that. And then one day it just happened, which was like, oh my gosh. But I
Yeah.
just kind of pretty much had given up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And
yeah.
it was a good pregnancy. I didn't have any problems like you did.
No.
And labor was long and long and long and had to be induced both times. But outside of that, yeah, it was just a joy. You were just always a joy. And you woke up every morning just like, world, here I am. She just always was happy. And you were just a joy.
Oh, thanks. Until you had to slap me as a teenager.
Until when? Oh, till she slapped you as a teenager.
Yeah.
I'm
so what
sorry,
what's the description for a teenager? What's
Yeah.
the word?
Joy.
Really? As a teen?
I know that you think that you were a bad teenager and you had your moments, but I knew that was going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to fight with my mother. So I was prepared. I didn't really like it, but I loved every new stage that came along. I did, and supported you with what you did. And you were always a joy to me.
Hmm.
And still.
Thanks,
So it's a joy, joy,
Nice.
joy.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Top that, Marsha.
Oh, shit.
How was I as a baby?
You weren't really easy,
Sure.
but I have to attribute that to me being with the stress that was going on because of my family,
Mm.
Uh-huh.
not necessarily not being there, but just the negative at all times.
The energy.
Yeah, the energy was just not there. And of course, that affected me a great deal because, I always thought we were close. And so as a baby, and that I do attribute to me. As a little one, oh, adorable as hell.
Aw.
You were so cute. I want to see some pictures?
No. No.
I would
They're
love-
on my phone.
I don't think I've ever really seen you as a baby. I imagine you look exactly like Georgia
As a baby?
as a baby, or like as a kid, like a little kid.
Oh, I have pictures 3, 4. She was so cute.
Oh,
And then 7.
And then it got real awkward real fast.
we
Remember
both
that?
we both got real awkward for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you weren't quite as awkward as me. It was real rough. Like I had to get my face reconstructed. So yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah. And as a teen, you never gave us any trouble until, 2 moving violations in 2 days. But you were always.
You know, Tracey was with me for that second one.
Was she,
Was I?
Oh my gosh.
was she there when your father
We-
was screaming
I,
into the phone?
oh yeah, I took a
Oh,
left.
actually,
I
yeah,
took a
actually, too.
left during a yellow light, as you do, and I got pulled over and a ticket. But I'd gotten a speeding ticket the day before, and you would have thought I would have never been welcome home in my house again.
Oh.
Like my father,
Mhm.
it was
Hmm.
not good. I think you had to drive the rest of the way back to wherever we were
I
going.
do remember that now.
because I
you
was
were like
crying
crying
so
so
hard.
hard. Yeah.
But, neither you nor your brother ever had a curfew. And you knew if you were going to be late. But your
Mhm.
brother would come all the way in the room and say, I'm home. You'd stay at the door so we wouldn't smell the cigarettes and the booze. You think we were idiots? We knew.
Okay, my favorite story about coming home and having to tell you I'm home was one time I was already in college, I think. I was like a freshman and I was home for like a couple of weeks. And I had gone out with some friends from high school. And I came home and I did the like, I'm home. And I was really stoned, like super, super, super stoned. And I said, I'm home, but they didn't answer. So I'm like, I'm home. No answer. And now I'm yelling, I'm home. I'm home. And finally I get a little something and I walk away stoned as ever and totally paranoid and think to myself, did they hear me the first time? And I'm just standing in their bedroom screaming, I'm home.
Sure.
But no, I wasn't a very bad kid because I was
No.
scared to death of
We were
my
both
father.
good kids. I mean, we were good together. Like we were good. I mean, we did. We were
Yeah,
good.
but you had like boyfriends and stuff in high school,
I did.
and I did not.
But I got a moving violation too.
She's like, let me skip that part and go right to my moving violations.
But I got one. I mean, you're still mad at your face. You still are mad at me.
Well, it's because of the terror that something could have
I
happened
get
to
it.
you. Oh
But
my
I,
gosh.
to my defense, I was driving from play practice, so I was already like after. I was already like
also
6
known as
o'clock.
rehearsal.
Play rehearsal. I was driving from rehearsal, already full day school, full day of
Mhm.
rehearsal. Then I was driving to my job at the outlet mall
Mhm.
at Dockers
Oh, yeah.
to work till like 9 or 10 at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was late and I was sick and I was speeding, but I was going real fast.
real fast, like
Oh.
90 and a 40 mile an
Yeah,
hour.
Oh.
like the
You
cops
guys
where
were
we
pissed.
lived, where there
Yeah.
was deer that would jump
Oh,
all
yeah.
over the
No,
road.
I
and
get
everything.
it.
And when I found out, I mean, I just like
The
came
wrath.
unglued. I just, well,
Even the
Jay-
cop was like, "What are you doing?"
Oh,
He pulled me over.
gosh.
But they were so mad at me, and then they grounded me for so long.
Oh, we didn't let you go to prom or something.
No,
There
you
was some-
almost did it. And finally, I ungrounded myself. I was like, okay, I get it. I'm sorry. I've gone to court. Can we please shut this down? It's been weeks at that point. I was like a
Oh, my
senior.
gosh.
Anyway,
So scary.
it is
I
scary.
don't even remember the question now.
Oh.
What are we
Oh.
talking about?
Describe us as teenagers.
Oh, yeah. So as teenagers, so my mom's description is, didn't get in trouble.
Oh.
Well, didn't.
Okay.
You were
No, I
very
was good.
cute. Yeah.
But you still were a joy. I mean, you had every kid. I'm not trying to paint it like there was, sorry, that there was, that it was perfect.
Yeah.
But generally joy. That's so. I just want to clarify that because you did have your moments, like the time that I found you where you were not supposed to be, as a fluke. Remember that one? Okay,
The
never.
one. Mhm.
Yeah.
What?
She was supposed to be
Oh,
someplace and then she was not, and we just happened to drive by, and I look out and go, "Is that Tracey?"
Oh, you got
Oh.
busted.
This is right.
bust.
Deep rebellion period. We decided you were probably with me. Instead of going to see a movie in downtown Parker.
No, you're supposed to be at youth
Where I
group.
worked, by the way. I worked.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you were supposed to be at youth group, and you didn't go to youth group. That's because
Oh,
She
that's pre-
remembers.
That's
Yeah.
pretty badass,
Yeah.
actually. That's better.
Yeah.
But I remember it as that we were supposed to be at a movie, but we decided not to go to the movie one. We decided to go get ice cream. And so we were in front of the Baskin Robbins getting ice cream. And again, in slow-mo, I see my parents' car driving by slowly. And my mother, and you guys know how loud I am, my mom goes, "Tracey, what are you doing?"
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was pretty funny.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay, moving on. We're nearing
nearing
the
the
end
Oh, boy.
here.
My glass is empty.
Yeah.
All right. When you see our kids, what reminds you the most of us from our kids?
Oh, I got that one.
Go ahead.
She was a drama queen. Georgia.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, hello. Have you met Georgia?
Yes, but when you say drama, she doesn't. She's dramatic, but it's not. She doesn't like cry a lot about anything. It's not like she's not like a dramatic person like
no.
I was. Like I feel like I was. Yeah, I just don't think I was as happy of a kid as she is at all.
No.
She's much
And
happier.
combing your hair was just not as pleasant as it is combing her hair.
Oh man,
Oh,
that's very similar.
That's straight up from a grandmother, though, because I know how hard it is for Shayna
Oh my
to comb
God.
George's hair. It's horrible.
I get why people hit their kids with hairbrushes.
So I'm forgiven.
For real. I'm like, this is so close to your head and you're being such an asshole right now that I get how parents are just like, oh, like I haven't done it, but I certainly have I have thrown a brush across the room and I have broken it and had to apologize. It is real.
And she reported that right away.
I'm sure she remembers everything.
Reports everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she likes to be, she's the
Yeah,
one cracking
she's-
the jokes. For
Oh,
sure.
absolutely.
She's dramatic.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Absolutely.
And very happy.
Mhm.
Yes. Very.
And she's the spitting image of you. I mean,
Her expressions, the expressions.
yeah,
So
for sure.
funny.
Anything, Mom?
Well, there is some drama, you
Mhm.
know, very much. I think I see with her, like with you, the exuberance for life.
Mm.
She just, is like that, like you were. She just embraces everything. She's such an easy kid to get along with. She goes anywhere. Well, she didn't like errands, but
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
who does?
yeah,
Nobody likes
Yeah.
errands.
but yeah, that probably that stands out anyway.
Mhm.
Um,
Are there any more? Or
There's
we
one more. Do you want to do one more?
One more.
Okay.
Let's
oh
see.
boy.
What do you think the biggest difference is from raising kids now that you wrote this weird?
I'm sorry.
What do you think the biggest difference is raising children when you did?
Do you have any idea what you meant to say?
Okay, what's the difference between raising kids then and raising kids now? Like, what's the biggest difference?
This is epic. Good job. We're not tired at all.
I kind of think we've answered that with all of
Have
our
we?
answers.
Yeah, you might
sort
be
of,
right.
kind
Yeah, we
of.
pretty much
Less
did.
abductions.
Yeah. Which I'm not sure I agree with, but we'll go with that.
All right, we'll try to fact check that one on this
Okay. Well.
episode. I'll try to put it in the show notes.
Absolutely.
Mm.
You guys, thank you. I know this was not your top choice of how to spend your day today, and we are just like so grateful that you were willing to come and talk about some of our dirty laundry.
Mm.
Can I go shopping now?
Oh, are you going
Oh, are you
shopping
gonna go
today?
shopping? That sounds delightful.
I guess she's like, can you reward me, please?
Especially you do get a little buzz going. It's like the best kind of
Yeah,
shopping.
It is the best part of shopping.
Okay.
We love you
I
guys.
want to
Oh.
sum this up for just a minute. And I think I can speak for Lynn and you. We could not be prouder of you girls.
Aw.
Exactly.
And you turned out okay in spite of us.
Yeah. This is
Hey.
true. Yeah, I guess maybe we did something right. I
You
hope.
did.
Oh,
you
thank
know
you.
what? You guys loved us, and that's at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And honestly, like we have such great relationships with you
Mhm.
as adults, and there's so many
Oh.
women out there who don't
Mhm.
even have their mamas, and there's women
Yeah.
out there who have moms, and it never felt what we get to feel with you guys.
Mhm.
We're very, very grateful and very lucky for you.
And grateful that you love our children as much as you do.
Oh.
That
I
is
mean,
a gift.
I was just
that-
going to say, and thank you for those gifts.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. And thank you right back
Absolutely.
because they're being raised with your influence, and there's nothing, that's something, there's no value that you can put on that. It's amazing
That's
to watch how much
true.
you guys love our kids.
Okay, I'm
We
crying.
love you. We're all
Yeah,
crying.
I know.
Oh.
Oh.
We are on tour. We're on tour.
We got a tour
We're on
update.
tour.
Tour update.
Tour update
I mean, you do that every time.
every time.
Every single
Mm-hmm.
time. So the Mother's Day Eve show happened.
Gosh, that was special.
That was a real special night.
It was so fun. We did this really fun thing where we had all the moms from the ticket list send in like surprise photos of their band of mothers, and then we surprised them at the end of the show where we like played them up on the slides while we were finishing the last song, and it was just like such a
It was cute. People were
such
screaming, and it
such
was
a fun
sweet.
moment. Yeah,
Oh, it's such a fun show. The dance party was fun, and all the
very sweaty.
the Sarah Ortega jewelry that we gave away was epic and gorgeous, and it
It
was fun to
was.
watch the moms win that, and
Yeah, it was a really fun night.
love that night. And then
So-
we had a fun Mother's Day.
Yeah,
at
then
our
we all got
house.
together at Tracey's house for Mother's
just
Day.
Had just 20 people over at my house yesterday after a show for however many.
But it
was
did
fun.
involve Bloody Marys, which was
It did.
terrific.
Thank God. It
and
was really fun.
cornhole.
Yep. And lots of dip.
Yeah. And then we're right back on the road.
Yep.
So we leave, we'll be in New York, in Huntington, New York, in Long Island on Saturday
At the Paramount.
at another place called the Paramount.
Tickets are still available for that, but they're going really fast. It's going to be another really fun show, obviously.
Yeah.
And then May
31st.
and June 1st, we are in Omaha and then Des Moines. Back at our
Yes.
old stomping grounds at the Funny Bone Clubs.
2 shows each night.
Yeah, an
So-
early and a late. And those the early show at Omaha is almost sold out, so get your tickets, ladies.
Sweet.
And then after that, we finish up the tour with Madison, Milwaukee, and St. Paul. I don't think that's the right order, but we're going to those cities.
We will be in those cities, and those tickets are going fast too. So
Yeah.
follow our tour page so you can see those dates and
Join our Facebook group, Band of Mothers.
That's
And you
right.
guys, we got Band of Mothers t-shirts in.
Oh yes,
And
I'm
we're
wearing mine right now.
I know Shayna's wearing hers. I've already had to put mine in the wash because, of course, it's already got dirty. They're so cute. They're embroidered in pink. They're navy blue. They say Band of Mothers. They're the softest t-shirt you will ever find in your life.
Yeah, we're pretty stoked about them. They are available
They are.
online.
Kate, bless her heart, in the middle of getting ready for the show, just took like a really fast picture and put it online because people were already asking. So get your Band of Mothers t-shirt.
Check it out, and we will see you.
See you guys next week.
or-
Talk to you next week.
I guess we don't really see anybody.
Chat with
when
you. We don't even talk to them. We'll talk at you.
We will talk at you next week.